Hi, I'm Jean Nolte, editor at Fons & Porter.
And I'm Colleen Tauke. I'm the sewing specialist at Fons & Porter. In this tutorial, we will show you how to make the block for the quilt called Winter Shadows.
This is an easy quilt made with totally triangle squares. And the interesting thing about it is it combines batiks and prints, which is a little bit unusual. So this is the big block we're going to make. And for each block, you need 2 matching background squares, which is this one, and then 2 different prints, each 10-inch square. And we're going to show you how to make triangle squares 8 at a time. So you'll do this method 2 times and you'll have all the pieces you need for a block.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going to take one of the light background squares and I'm going to mark lines diagonally from corner to corner in both directions so you can see. And I've just marked them with a pencil. These are not going to show, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so then we're going to take and put the print square and the background square right sides together, and you're going to sew a 1/4 inch away from that line on each side.
Okay. So what we're going to do is that's going to be my guide. A lot of times we put in lines that we're actually going to stitch on. This time you'll notice where the needle is positioned, it's 1/4 inch away from the drawn line.
So if you have a 1/4 inch foot, you'd run the edge of that foot along the line and sew down one side. And there's a clever little trick when you get to the end here.
Get really close. The little trick for me is instead of breaking thread, just lift up my presser foot. I jump to the other side of the street and lift my presser foot again. And we just made a little U-turn and we come back and on the other side of our drawn line.
Right, so you're not stitching on that line. You're using it as a guide to stitch a 1/4 inch away on each side. Now you would do that on both of those lines, and so it looks like this. And I'm going to just go ahead and cut this one.
Okay.
So we're going to get ready here. So the first thing you're going to do is cut it in half, both vertically and horizontally. So since this is a 10-inch square, I'm going to put the 5-inch line of my ruler right along the left edge here, and you're going to see how nicely that goes right through the stitching lines.
This is a little different than we're
cut
used
it
to.
in half.
We're used to cutting right down between the stitching lines and then being done. We're making one more step here because we're making 8 pieces at once, which will end up being very accurate and save us some time.
Now I put the 5-inch line across the bottom and cut them in half that way. So now it doesn't matter if these come apart a little bit because the only thing you have left to do is cut between the lines of stitching and cut those in half.
This is kind of a little kind of speed thing, so you could sit down and mark all of the background squares at once, have them all ready to go so that you're ready to pair them up with each of the prints or the batiks in this kind of quilt and sit down and sew a whole bunch at once.
There you go. You see, oops. Now that there's 8 of these, and when you flip them open, you've got a triangle square. You're going to want to press all of those toward that darker
Towards the dark, that's right. We should
fabric.
always press the dark. There we go.
So, and there's 8. You can see that's how many you need for this block. You would do the same thing with your other print, and then you're ready to just join them into rows, and be careful how you turn them.
Right.
Or you'll get a different block.
Exactly. So as you're working on them, just be thinking all the time, maybe from the center, it looks like a square, 2 triangles of the same print, work your way out. Step back, take a look before you start putting your rows together, make sure you have it aligned correctly. And that's what concludes the entire block. There's a navy color binding on the outer edge, and your quilt top is done. Thanks for joining us today.
To see more of our video tutorials, go to our website.